Good day, mate. Welcome back to the channel. I'm FPL Root and welcome back to another FPL video. So in today's video, we're going to go through my wildcard draft ahead of double game week 35. So I will be playing my wildcard in this game week, so this will probably be my team. If you are new to the channel, please make sure you do subscribe and smash a like on this video.
Yo, listen up, Rue is stepping up the game. Where Fantasy Premier League runs in his veins. From transfers to captains, he's always on top. Guiding you through every game week non-stop. They say Rue got that Salah flow. Welcome to the channel, enjoy the show. Wildcards, free hits with so much vibe. If you're hunting for success, then make sure you subscribe.
So we will start off this video with the goalkeepers. So I've decided to go for Onana and Vicario. It was a tough call, to be totally honest with you, as there are not many goalkeepers from teams that I want for the rest of the season. So I'm obviously targeting the double game week in 37, and then I will be playing my bench boost in that double game week. So I'm gonna want to play 15 players that are going to have doubles in that game week. So that will get me 30 fixtures in theory. Obviously rotation, etc. That might not be the case, but yeah, I've gone for Onana and Vicario. The reason I've gone for Vicario is obviously not because of Spurs' defensive record, because they've been awful defensively this season, but it's because they've got more games than anyone else. So Chelsea and Spurs both have 2 double game weeks left, and I feel like there was more options for Chelsea's defence in terms of defenders rather than Spurs, because Udogie's out for the season now. Pedro Porro has a knock, and who knows whether he'll be back for game week 35 or not. So that's why I've gone for Vicario. Yes, the fixtures are not great. Arsenal at home, Chelsea away in the double. And then they've got Liverpool away. And then Burnley at home, Man City at home for a double game week 37. And then Sheffield United away last game of the season. Again, I'm honestly not expecting clean sheets, especially in the next 3 games, Arsenal, Chelsea, Liverpool, and against Man City. But I feel like Vicario and Spurs do concede a lot of shots, and I feel like he will be getting a few save points and hopefully keeping at least a couple clean sheets from now until the end of the season. But if not, save points. And the same reason why I've gone for Onana is because Man United concede a lot of shots too, but I feel like them defensively, or their defensive record at least, is a little bit better than Spurs. I had Onana towards the start of the season, and he did okay for me. He went through a run of 3 clean sheets in a row from like game week 11 to 13, but again, it is a tough one. But the fixtures do look very, very good for Man United. So in game week 35, they've got Burnley at home, and then 36, obviously I won't be playing him for that. I'll be playing Vicario over double game week. But 36, they've got Palace away, and then double game week of Arsenal at home, Newcastle at home, and then Brighton away, game week 38, where I'll probably play with Vicario anyway. So really, I only play Onana for 36 and 37. Like I said, it's not the best. I'm not happy with these goalkeepers, but goalkeepers have been a real struggle to pick this season. And for me, I'd rather go for a Chelsea defender. I'd rather go for a Newcastle defender. I'd rather go for a Man City defender. And that really doesn't leave too many options to go for in terms of double game week players. Yes, I could always go for a single game week player. Maybe I could go for a David Raya. Could be a shout. But I probably won't be playing him. Say if I go for David Raya instead of Vicario, I won't be playing him in game week 35 because Arsenal have got Spurs away and Spurs have a double game week. And then will I be playing him in 37 when Arsenal have Man United away and Spurs have a double game week? Obviously, it's not ideal, because the fact that they've got a double game week and Arsenal have a tough fixture, and I'm playing my bench boost, I'm going to have to play both. So for me, I think I'd rather risk it and go for the double game with goalkeepers, and hopefully to get save points and a clean sheet. In defence, we'll start off with the absolute lock. So Gusto is a lock from Chelsea. He's now 4.3 million. This season he started 18 games, 5 assists, and not too bad attacking wise. For me, Chelsea's fixtures are just okay. So Villa away, Spurs at home in a double game week in 35. 36, they've got West Ham at home. 37, Forest away, with a double again with Brighton away, and then Bournemouth at home last game of the season. So again, the reason I've gone for him is he's attacking. Yes, Chelsea defensively aren't great, but yeah, I think his attacking threat and for his price, I think he's a must own on the wild card. Also, a Newcastle defender, like I said, is a must own, I'd say, for a wild card. And their fixtures are actually quite good. So they've got Sheffield United at home, then Burnley away. Great fixtures. A double game week of Brighton at home, Man United away, and then Brentford away, last game of the season. And I've gone for Fabian Schär, 5.6 million, because I do think he's more attacking than the likes of Burn, who really is the only other secure person to go for. Botman's injured, Trippier's injured, but if Trippier is back, I'd definitely rather go for Trippier, but I'm not too sure if he will be back by the double game week, and I don't really want to risk it, especially if he's just come back from an injury. So I have gone for Fabian Schär. This season he scored 4 goals and 3 assists from centre-back, which is very, very good. And yeah, for me, he's the most secure in that Newcastle defence, so that's why I've gone for him. Next up, Diego Dalot, 5.2 million. This was a tough one because obviously I'm doubling up on that Man United defence for the double game week. And to be honest, their fixtures from now up until then is actually really good. Like I said, with Onana, Burnley at home, Crystal Palace away, then the double game week, 2 home games, albeit against Arsenal and Newcastle. But Dalot is quite attacking too, to be totally honest, and I struggled to pick defenders. Really, this season, it's only been Arsenal that have actually been pretty solid defensively. So obviously, I don't think I want to go for them because of their tough fixtures and because they don't double. But I am now thinking, do I not have a double game week defender and then play an Arsenal defender and then maybe take him out when game week 37 comes? But I don't really want to be booking in transfers. I want to be using them transfers for emergency situations where maybe a double game week player's got injured, etc. So yeah, I think for now I'm going to stick with all double game weeks in this team, but potentially that might change. But yeah, 1 goal, 3 assists for Dalot this season. And yeah, again, Man United, double Man United defence for the bench boost. But for me, yeah, like I said, I don't really want to be using my defensive spots for other teams. For example, Brighton. I've got Van Heck in this draft as well. So with Van Heck, it's one of them ones where I've kind of run out of slots for players. So I could have gone for double Spurs defence, but like I said, I don't really fancy Spurs defensively. And Brighton's fixtures are not the best, to be totally honest. They've got Brighton, Bournemouth away, Villa at home in 36. Then they've got a double game week called Newcastle away, Chelsea at home, and then Man United at home in 38. Van Heck is actually not attacking at all. 0 goals, 0 assists this season, but he's only 4.1 million. He can sit on the bench for me, and then I'll just play him in double game week in game week 37. Obviously, I'd rather have someone like a Stupinan, but he's now got a knock. He came off injured the other day. So yeah, the defence is a real struggle. So I'd like to know any suggestions in the comment section below. Just drop your defensive selections below. Also got a City defender. Again, it's hard to predict which City defender to go for, but I've gone for Gvardiol, 4.9 million, 1 goal, 1 assist in 20 starts this season. Again, City's fixtures are actually very nice towards the end of the season. So they've got Forest away in 35, Wolves at home in 36, double game week, tough double game week, Fulham away, Spurs away. Then they finish with West Ham at home in 38. And yes, their defence hasn't been great this season. And the last time they kept a clean sheet was obviously against Arsenal in game week 30. And then before that was game week 26. So they're not really consistent with that defence. But I think with the amount of options that are lacking in defence in terms of double game week players, I think going for a City one is probably the smart thing to do, because I don't really trust any of their kind of attacking players to be, locked in to play every game apart from Foden and Haaland. Let's get on to the midfield. So now for the midfield, we'll start off with Bruno Fernandes. So again, a player that's actually been on very good form recently. I did recommend him in my transfer tips video. He's done pretty well recently. 8 goals, 7 assists for the whole season. But recently, the only time he's blanked is game week 30. And since game week 25, he's got a return in every single game since then. So that's about 8 games where he's returned in every game, sometimes twice in a game. And the reason I've gone for Bruno Fernandes is as I've said with Man United players, the fixtures are there. Burnley, Palace, double game week, and then Brighton away. But for me, on penalties, and that's what you want in double game weeks. In double game week 37, where maybe a lot of people that are not wildcarding this late won't have Bruno Fernandes. I'm going to have him. He's going to get a penalty. He's going to score it. And I think Man United, albeit they're a bit of a shambles at the moment, obviously squandering a 3-0 lead to Coventry in the FA Cup, but they did score 3 goals. And to be honest, owning the Man United midfielder, that's what I want. I want them to score goals, and their fixtures say that they're going to score goals. So for me, Bruno Fernandes is the player to go for on pens. I think he'll play. I know they're in the FA Cup, so there is a chance he might not play in game week 38. But for me, I think he'll play. Ten Hag doesn't really rest players that much, and especially Bruno Fernandes, that normally plays every single minute of every single game. So for me, yeah, he is in the team. Phil Foden's in the team, 8.2 million, had an incredible season, 14 goals, 7 assists in 28 starts. Very, very good season for him. I think he is the best Man City option in terms of midfielders. Yes, you could argue De Bruyne, but I just don't trust him this season. I just genuinely don't trust him this season. I know they're out of Europe now, so really, if they got the FA Cup final, obviously, but they're still fighting for the league. De Bruyne steps up in the big moments, but for me, I don't trust him this season, to be totally honest with you. There is still a chance he could be in this team, but for now, I think Foden is the one to go for. He hasn't played the last 2 Premier League games, which is just quite funny considering he has had a great season. But for me, he's in his team, and yeah, he's going to be one of the main options for captaincy in game week 37. Cole Palmer, another lock in this team, to be totally honest with you. His fixtures, like I said, with Chelsea are not too bad, but they've obviously got the 2 double game weeks in 35 and 37. Villa away, Spurs at home. Then they've got 36. They've got West Ham at home. Then a double game week of Forest away, Brighton away, ending on Bournemouth at home in 38. And honestly, I just still can't believe he's only 6.2 million. Some people got him for 4.9. This season, 20 goals, 10 assists, 30 attacking returns, and he's only started 23 games, which is incredible. He's top scorer now with Erling Haaland, and I think he's going to end the season well. And I think Chelsea will as well, to be totally honest with you. They obviously had that great win against Everton 6-0, then they lost in the cup semi-final against City. But I think they've been scoring a lot of goals recently. They scored 4 against United, 2 against Sheffield United, 6 against Everton. So I think Cole Palmer is going to continue to score. And yeah, if you don't have him in your team, what are you doing, to be totally honest? Newcastle now. So obviously Newcastle, I've mentioned it before with Shaw. They have good fixtures as well. 6.1 million. I've gone for Anthony Gordon. Again, another player having a great season. 10 goals, 13 assists in 29 starts. And for me, he is such a crucial player for Newcastle that I think he'll play every single game now until the end of the season. Yes, there was maybe some doubts with Barnes coming back from injury, but I think Gordon plays on the right and left, which gives him a huge advantage. There is potential that maybe when Callum Wilson comes back from injury, Isak will go to the left. Maybe Barnes could go to the right. But for me, Gordon is so crucial to everything Newcastle do that I just can't see him dropping him. And I think he's a very, very nice option, especially at home. He's very, very good at home for Newcastle. The next few games look very nice for him as well. So Sheffield United at home, Burnley away. Then a double game week, Brighton at home, Man United away, finishing off at Brentford away, getting last game of the season. And yeah, for me, this guy is a must-have in your wildcard team. Son, tough one with Son, to be totally honest with you. As a Spurs fan, he hasn't been in great form recently. Saying that, he just got a 10-point haul in game week 30, so not that long ago. 17-point haul in game week 28, and that is why you want Son in your team for a double game week. You know he can perform like this. You know he's almost a little bit better against the better teams where he's got some space to run in behind, and that's who he's got. He's got the better teams now, from now until the end of the season. He's got Arsenal, Chelsea, Liverpool, Burnley, Man City, Sheffield United. So 4, or I guess you say the traditional big 6 teams: Arsenal, Chelsea, Liverpool, Man City. And I can see Son getting in behind. I can see Son scoring a goal. He's going to be on pens. And 9.8 million, yes, it's a lot for a player that is very, very hit and miss. But this season, even though he's gone for the Asia Cup, missed a few games, 15 goals, 9 assists, 28 starts, is still pretty good for Son. And yeah, I think, yes, his form's not the greatest, but I think he has to be in your team on the wildcard. Let's get on to the forwards. So now we'll move on to the forwards. So first up, we'll talk about Nicholas Jackson. So this, just to put in a disclaimer out here, this is only if he doesn't get a yellow card in the game week 34 fixture against Arsenal. If he does, then he'll miss 2 games. Then he will miss double game week 35, which you probably wouldn't want to bring him in for just to sit on the bench. So if he doesn't get a yellow card against Arsenal, he will probably be in my team, in my wildcard team. Villa away, Spurs at home. Then West Ham at home, Forest away. And that Forest away is a double game week with Brighton away. And then Bournemouth at home. Yes, he misses so many chances. But he actually hasn't been in bad form recently. 10 goals, 5 assists this season in 24 starts. He got a massive 14-pointer against Everton in game week 33. And I totally understand that he is wasteful. He is a bit like Darwin Núñez, you could say, a bit frustrating. But with 2 double game weeks, he's got more fixtures than other strikers you might be looking to bring in. For example, he's got 2 more fixtures than Solanke. He's got 2 more fixtures than Watkins. So for me, that's enough to bring him in. Surely he's going to perform better with more fixtures than someone like Watkins or someone like Solanke. Potentially not, now that I'm saying that out loud, considering how consistent Watkins has been this season. But I think it's worth taking a risk. And at 6.8 million, yeah, I think he's the one to go for, to be honest, and double up on that Chelsea attack. Erling Haaland's in the team. Obviously, he is flagged at the minute, muscle injury. He missed out in the FA Cup. He's 14.2 million now. 20 goals, 8 assists this season, 25 starts. Some say that he maybe hasn't been in great form recently, but he did get a 10-pointer against Luton, 8-pointer against Palace in his last 2 games. So for me, yes, he did blank 3 in a row, but he didn't play in one of them games, and it was against Liverpool and Arsenal. So tough games for him. But like I said, with City's fixtures, very good fixtures coming up. Forest away, Wolves at home, double game week of Fulham away, Spurs away, and then West Ham at home last game of the season. And I think, yeah, Haaland has to be in your team, especially now that they're out of the Champions League. I can't see him getting rested, and I think he'll play now towards the end of the season, fighting for that golden boot, fighting for City to win their 4th Premier League in a row. So Haaland is a lock in the team. So is Alexander Isak as well, 8 million. Been on fire recently, to be totally honest. 17 goals, 1 assist this season in 21 starts. Very, very good returns. And like I said, with Newcastle's fixtures, I think it's crucial to double up on their attack. Sheffield United, Burnley, double game week, then Brentford away. For me, there's not too much more to say about that. But like I said, you could argue maybe going for a Watkins over Jackson. You're losing 2 fixtures, but you're gaining a better striker. I do understand that. But for me, playing the wildcard this late, it's all about maximising your double game week players, getting in enough players to potentially play the bench boost in game week 37 or 15 doublers. You're going to get double appearance points. You're going to get double bonus points. You're going to get double the chance of getting a good score. So for me, if you're playing the wildcard this late, just go all out on the double game week players, and hopefully it does work out for you and it does work out for me. Let me know what you think of this draft in the comment section below. Please, please, please subscribe to the channel. I'm trying to hit 2K before the end of the season. It's going to be tough, but I think we can do it. If you're watching and you've been watching for a while, or you've just started watching, please just hit that subscribe button. It's completely free and it will help me out a lot. Let's try and get to 1500 before game week 36. And yeah, good luck for the game week. Cheers.